and the New York Jets. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. This defense for the Broncos, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Wilson's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. Paul on a give up the middle. Taken down at the 42. The Jets at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
Throwing is Wilson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Wilson getting right back to it after the pick 6. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game. And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. A solid stiff arm. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The first carry now. This is Williams. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Looking for the end zone. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Wilson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
From the 39, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On third down, Wilson. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
A handoff for Hall. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson, he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Nick Bonito. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Nick Bonito. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Hamler now on the return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 43-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. There he goes, left side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense... Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, here's Williams. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. They try the left side here with Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The kick by McManus is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And that is no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40. Past the 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Broncos. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver, Super Bowl 48, Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Here's a give to Hall. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Hall again on second down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Hall again on second down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the Broncos are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Give them 32 on the play.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, still throwing here with a big 3rd quarter lead, but that time this defense gets a measure of revenge.
One of the few positive moments they've had on either side of the football, really. Things have definitely not gone their way, but maybe their offense can seize on this and put some points on the board.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Now Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Javonte Williams with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to get in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 43. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the draw, it's Hall. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe bring.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Ready. Squeeze, get in there.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination.
Touchdown, Broncos! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. McManus's point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
On first down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll give to Hall. And some room to roam now. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got salads. Go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started. Y'all finna see what we bout to do.